Welcome back to the Locks of the Day podcast. This is podcast number 64. Zach and I today are going to lock you in with some premium locks, of course, for college football and NFL Sunday. Last Friday, we missed out on some college picks, but we swept NFL, so we're going to get right back into it, and we're going to sweep this week. No questions asked. Zach, you want to lock him in with the first two-star for college football?
Yeah, so the first two-star for college football, we're going with Arkansas State -4 at a -120. Arkansas State's coming off a great week. They just hosted Iowa State. It was like, well, I think one of the first times since they've been an FBS team that they've actually hosted a ranked team, and they took them to the wire, held them to a one-score game, and it's just they couldn't hold on, sadly. But they are going to Kennesaw State this week, playing a Conference USA team, and I love Arkansas State in this one. I think, they've played some good competition. They got killed by Arkansas, but they really bounced back with Iowa State. But their defense has performed relatively well, except for the Arkansas game. And Jalen Raynor is a huge X factor in that Arkansas State offense. He was ranked the best Group 5 quarterback out of anyone these last couple of years. I was very surprised he didn't transfer this past year. He's a North Carolina guy, so Bill Belichick may come knocking next year. But he's very solid. I was really surprised he decided to stay in next year, especially because Arkansas State did win 8 games last year. And he's been relatively solid. He's had over 600 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, a couple picks, but he's also really good with running the football as well. He has 150 yards rushing already this year. Looking over on the Kennesaw State side, their results kind of similar. They got killed by Indiana. Then they played Wake Forest, who they lost to 10-9. Which one of those games, I look at it, it's the opening week, opening game, and I sit there and I say, is Kennesaw State that good, or is Wake Forest really that bad? And Wake Forest is going to be a bottom ACC school. They did compete a little bit with NC State, but I don't really see. I think it was more so just first game of the year. Kennesaw State just kind of held on. And then you got Kennesaw State played a school near us, Merrimack, last week,
Mm-hmm.
and they only beat them by 2 touchdowns, and they were barely favored on the spread. They were only favored by about 12 points, and they got it late with a late touchdown. Kennesaw State likes to run a 2 quarterback set with Dexter Williams and Amari Odom, and I just don't think those 2 quarterback sets work that well because you got one quarterback that's hot, and you sub them out, you bring the other one in. It just doesn't work that way. I do think Kennesaw State is the better team than what they were last year because last year was their first year in the FBS. But I feel like in this one, this spread opened up at 8 points and it's down to 4. And I've gone through the injury reports, gone through everything like that. A lot of these guys are all playing. So this is one of those games where the spread, if it keeps moving and it's going to favor Arkansas State, they're bigger up top. They have more talent. Kennesaw State can't really throw the football. It's going to be more of a heavy run game. And I think Arkansas State's going to be able to stop them in this one. So Arkansas State -4 at a -120 is going to be the two-star. And we'll kick it to you for the three-star.
Yes, sir. I love that for tuning and play. But three-star for this week, it's going to be a little juice here. Auburn money line +210. They're playing Oklahoma. Auburn's QB Jackson Arnold returns to Oklahoma, so this game means a little more to him. And I think Arnold is the better QB here in this matchup. This kid's gonna be an NFL QB one day for sure. He's got the arm, he can scramble, he's got the football IQ. He doesn't force stupid throws. He's only thrown 6 picks in 2 years. This kid's tough as nails. Like he is, this kid's a dog. He's gonna do whatever it takes to beat Oklahoma. And Auburn's run game has also been hard to stop this year. Whether it's Arnold extending the play, or the running back, Jeremiah Cobb, he's been solid, picking up those quick extra yards. Their run game's very efficient with Cobb over 300 yards already this season and 4 TDs and averaging 6.8 yards per rush. College football world has also been raving about Oklahoma's defense, saying they're top this, top that, when they've only played Temple, Illinois State, and Michigan. And all you got to do against Michigan to stop the run because Michigan doesn't trust Bryce Underwood to throw the ball at all. And I think honestly, most SEC teams would beat Michigan right now. And so I don't think that win is that impressive. So fuck the spread. Give me the juice. Auburn money line +210. Let's get it. And then now we got some Sunday NFL locks, the big ones, and what everyone's waiting for. Zach, kick him off with a two-star, kid.
Yeah, so it's going to be the Pats and Steelers over 43 points at a -135. This one is going to be an interesting one. There's not really going to be too much to really talk about. You got two decent teams going at it, both 1-1. The main way that I can sum this up is you have two defenses that are very, I wouldn't say banged up, but they're missing a lot of guys. The Steelers, these last few weeks, people are like, oh, they're giving up a bunch of points. They have their whole defense out. They've been missing over half their starters. everyone thinks, oh, TJ Watt's out there, so then they're fine. But TJ Watt can't man a whole defense because they've gotten 30 dropped on them multiple times, and they're going to score. Aaron Rodgers has done a pretty good job since taking over as the QB. He put up 17 last week, but they did stall a couple drives where they did drive the field and couldn't get any points out of it. And at the same time, when you look at the Patriots side of things, kind of similar. Week one, they did all right defensively, but they should have scored more points. Drake May played really well. But they didn't really have too much of a run game going in. And last week, you saw their defense got exposed big time, even though we did take the Pats. They just scored a lot of points. They got a lot of points. And that's kind of what I said. As I was hoping that the Patriot defense would do enough, and they did just enough. But in this game, being in New England, we're looking at the injury reports. You've got two really good offenses and a mediocre and a bad defense. And I mean, I'll tell you, Alex Highsmith, who is one of the linebackers for the Steelers, he's already out. So you can already mark him out. Then on top of that, Joey Porter Jr. is still out with a hamstring injury. I believe his name is Dane Elliott. He's already out with an MCL injury. So there's a corner and a safety. Harmon, one of their tackles, MCL, questionable. And then they have another defensive tackle, Loudermilk, kind of funny name. He's also out. So that's already four guys right there. And then if I go to the Patriots, you're going to have a defensive end. I believe his name is, let's see, Keon White, questionable, most likely, is going to be doubtful. Christian Gonzalez is doubtful with a hamstring. Harold Landry is questionable as well, who leads the team in sacks. And then they have another linebacker, Tave, another guy who's already out IR. So they already have three starters out. They have a bunch of guys out. I mean, both these defenses do. And I think it's just going to be one of those back and forth games. You might see a 24 or maybe like a 27-24 game, 28-24 game, something along those lines, because these teams are going to have to score, because the Steelers already know going into this game, they're probably going to give 20 plus points already. So they're going to have to outscore everyone they play up until they start getting their defensive guys back. So I think 43 is a pretty low number for these two teams, and playing in Foxborough, it's going to be 70 degrees on Sunday, sunny. So perfect weather conditions, nothing crazy. So I think this should be a really good one. I think it'll be a great game, but I think it'll be a good bet with some good value here. So over 43 minus 135 is your 2-star, and we'll kick it to Andrew for the 3.
Sure. Yes, sir. I got a big 3-star here. Bengals Vikings over 47. It's an alternate line plus 160. We got Browning versus Carson Wentz. Like, come on, people. Everyone and their mother, sister, grandparents, you name it, they're smashing the under with these two QBs under the gun. Not this guy. Not happening. Both these defenses are ass cheeks. Vikings have led up 22 and 24 to the Falcons and the Bears. Cincy has led up 16 and 27 to the Browns and the Jags. Like, come on. Both these QBs have the offensive weapons to be successful and put up points on the board. Jake Browning, been there, done that. He led the Bengals last 2 seasons ago. Beat the Vikings in overtime. And Carson Wentz just isn't JJ McCarthy. JJ's fucking trash. I know Jettas is smiling ear to ear right now, knowing Wentz is going to be slinging the ball to him on Sunday. Won't be surprised if Jettas goes off with 10 plus fucking catches. Once again, everyone's been in the under here, whether it's a regular line or an alternative line, tossed in teasers. All those tickets are trashed. I'm going to tell you that right now. That's why I'm going with a little plus here. Give me Bengals, Vikings over 47 at a plus 160. That should wrap up the podcast. You got anything else to add?
Yeah, I'm just going to add on to your statement. I mean, you can see the confidence that Cincinnati has in Browning, because I thought they were going to go out and pick up a QB. Everyone was thinking Kirk Cousins was going to be a guy that Cincinnati would pick up to fill in, but Browning is a guy who is going to be throwing. That's how he was when he was in college. Played at Washington. He was like that. They're just going to throw.
Give me
And
Jameis
Carson
Winston.
Wentz, yeah, just like that. I mean, Jameis Winston was also a guy too that they talked about, because it's a high power, or it's a high throwing offense.
Yeah.
And I mean, and on top of that too, they do have a good running back in Chase Brown. And
Yeah.
on the Viking side, you have a good running back in Jordan Mason, and Carson Wentz. They know they're going to have to throw to keep up. But then, like you said too, Cincinnati's defense is terrible. They gave 16 to the Browns, but kick in a mixed extra point, 2 missed field goals would have been in the 20s. And then against last week, they just got pretty lucky against Jacksonville. But I think both these teams kind of like that, kind of like how I feel like the Bengals have that Steelers mentality where they know they're going to let up a lot of points. They
And
just
they
have
got to
to
go out there and put up 40.
outscore. They have to outscore everyone.
They
That's
have
what
to.
you saw last week against Jacksonville. So
And
But I think it's
Vikings
got some
defense
great
is a little
value.
banged up too. They have a couple guys
Yes.
questionable. Van Ginkel's still questionable, but like Browning can also he can scramble a little bit. He's not a bad QB. Like he can throw.
Mhm.
Obviously, he can fucking throw. He can sling it, but he can also run a
Yeah.
little. He's not like a true pocket passer. Like he's not just gonna sit there and get tackled and get sacked the whole time. Like no, he's gonna use his fucking brain. Yeah, the Bengals O line isn't the best, but I mean, just look at what he's done filling in for Joe Burrow the past 2 years. Like he's a dog. Like
Exactly.
he throws. He's
Yep.
very accurate and. I mean, weapons all around them. So both these
Mhm.
fucking QBs got weapons all around. So that
Yes.
should be fucking cake. Everyone's gonna
And I
be
believe it was, yeah, and I believe it was a couple of years ago too. I think the Vikings were the team that cut Browning as well, because then that was his first game
yep
that he had played, and he dropped 4 touchdowns on him too.
and beat him in
Because there's like a
OT.
lot, and there's like a big line that came out because it's like the only mixtape I've ever seen of Jake Browning, and it starts off and it's like you shouldn't have effing cut me, and then it just pops into him just dropping fucking touchdown
Slinging it.
passes, and and that's all I see. So I'm pretty sure this was that. So this could also be more of a revenge game kind of thing too.
Yeah,
Looking back, saying, "Hey, even though this was a couple of years ago, I've done it to you once. I'll do it to you again." So
exactly. Exactly. I love that. Love that. But that'll wrap up today's podcast. Get those bets in ASAP. Got college football tomorrow. We got Sunday creeping up on us. So don't miss out on some free money. We'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.